Let me ask you something. If you go back 10 years, what one financial mistake you stop yourself from making? Would you buy a Bitcoin? Buy a house earlier? Invest in Apple? Honestly, none of this would be my answer. Because looking back, the biggest thing I was missing wasn't a better investment, it was a better mindset. I came to Canada in 2018 as an international student. I had no investing experience, no financial education, no wealthy family teaching me about the money. I thought making more money would automatically solve all of my financial problems. I couldn't have been more wrong. Over the last few years, I have made mistakes. I have chased hype, I have lost money, I have wasted time. But those mistakes taught me lessons that completely changed the way I think about money. And today, I am sharing you 10 rules I wish someone had taught me on my very first day in Canada. If you are in your 20s or even your 30s, I genuinely believe these rules can save you years of frustration. And trust me, the last rule completely changed my life. Let's get started. Rule 1. Nobody is coming to save you. When I first came in Canada, I thought life worked like this. First, I'll graduate. Second, I get a good job. Third, earn good money. Fourth, become successful. Simple. At least, that's what I believe. But after graduating, reality hit me. Nobody teaches you how to invest. Nobody teaches you taxes. Nobody teaches you budgeting. Nobody teaches you retirement. Nobody teaches you how to actually build wealth. Most of us spend over 15 years in school, yet we never have a single class about money. Think about how crazy that is. I keep waiting for someone to explain it. Maybe my employer, maybe the bank, maybe someone older than me. But it never happened. That one day I realized something. Nobody was coming. If I wanted financial freedom, it was my responsibility to learn. That was one of the biggest mindset shift I ever had. Because the moment I stopped waiting for someone else, everything started changing. Nobody is coming to save you. But here's the interesting part. Even after learning this, I still believe one thing that turned out to be completely wrong. I thought making more money would automatically make me wealthy. But it doesn't. Let me explain you. Here comes our rule number 2. Your income doesn't make you rich. This lesson surprised me. Growing up, I believe rich people simply earn more money. That's it. Then I started working and I met people making really good incomes. Some earned much more than I did, but something didn't make sense. They were still living paycheck to paycheck. They had beautiful cars, luxury apartments, the newest iPhone every year, designer clothes, weekend trip, yet somehow at the end of the month, very little money was left. Then I met someone else. He didn't drive anything fancy, didn't wear expensive clothes, didn't talk about money, but every month, without failing, he invested quietly, consistently, year after year. That's when I realized income creates opportunity, habits creates wealth. Those are two completely different things. You can make $200,000 a year and still be broke, or you can earn less, live below your means, invest consistently, and become financially independent. That lesson completely changed how I manage every paycheck. Now, whenever my income increases, the first thing I ask myself isn't what can I buy? It is how much more I can invest. That single question completely changed everything, but honestly, I still wasn't investing the right way. In fact, the next rule cost me thousands of dollars. Rule number 3. Stop trying to get rich quickly. This was probably my most expensive lesson. When I first started trading, I wasn't interested in getting rich slowly. I wanted result fast. Everywhere I looked, someone was talking about the next big stock. GameStop, Rivian, Fisker. This stock is going to the moon. This is the next Tesla. You will regret not buying this. Every thumbnail make it sound like it was once in a lifetime opportunity. Sometimes I would make money and I would feel like I am a genius. I would lose even more. Looking back, I wasn't investing. I was gambling. The craziest past days, I wasn't even doing my own research. I was buying because other people were excited. That's not investing. That's outsourcing your decision. Eventually, I asked myself one simple question. If all of these people know exactly which stock is going to make everyone rich, why aren't they billionaires? That question completely changed my perspective. I stopped looking for shortcuts, stopped chasing hype, stopped checking my portfolio every 30 minutes. Instead, I started learning how people actually build wealth. I read books, watch interviews, learn about index fund, learn about compound interest, studied investors who have successfully for decades, not months, and I realized something. Building wealth isn't about finding one incredible investment, it's about making hundreds of good decisions over a very long period of time. That one realization completely changed my investing strategy. Slow is smooth, slow is fast. But here's the funny part, the stock market wasn't actually the investment that changed my life the most. The next rule made me far more money than any ever stock has, and almost nobody talks about it. Rule number 4, your career is your biggest investment. When people first started investing, they spent hours researching ETF, hours comparing stocks, hours trying to find the perfect investment, but almost nobody asked themselves, how can I make more money in my career? Looking back, the investment that gave me hundreds of return wasn't a stock, it wasn't a crypto, it wasn't even a real estate. It was me. When I moved to Canada, I knew that if I wanted a better life, I had to become more valuable. So I kept learning. I improved my technical skills, learned new technology, took on challenging projects, asked questions, made mistakes, applied for better opportunities, and every time my income increased, I had more money available to invest. Think about it. If your salary increased by $20,000 a year, that's an extra $20,000 you can potentially invest every single year. No ETF can guarantee you that kind of return. Your skill can. That's why I truly believe your career is your first investment. Everything else, invest in yourself before you invest in the market. But here's where I almost made another mistake. As my income grew, so did my spending. And that's exactly what almost stopped me from building wealth. Rule number 5, lifestyle inflation is silent. Lifestyle inflation is dangerous because you don't even notice it's happening. You get your first raise, you think I deserve a phone. Then I deserve a nice apartment. Then a newer car. Then a better vacation. And before you know it, your lifestyle has expanded to match your income. You are making more money than ever before, but somehow you are saving the same amount or even less. I realized something. Every time I earned more, I reward myself immediately instead of rewarding my future self. That had to change. Now, whenever my income increases, I follow one simple rule. I increase my investment first. Then, if there is any money left over, I will upgrade my lifestyle, not the other way around. Because the truth is, nobody becomes wealthy by spending every raise. We become wealthy by investing our raises. Instead of raise, spend more, wonder where the money went. This next rule might something sound boring, but I honestly think it's the habit that made me most money over the years. Rule number 6, automate everything. Here's a question. How many times have you told yourself, I will invest next month? I know I have. Life gets busy, bills comes up, unexpected expenses happen. There's always another reason to wait. That's why motivation is such a terrible financial strategy. Motivation comes and goes, system doesn't. One of the best decisions I have ever made was automating my investment. Every month, money leaves my account automatically. I don't even think about it. I don't wonder whether the market is high or low. I don't panic whether the market is low. I don't wait for the perfect time. Because here's the truth. The perfect time almost never feels perfect. When markets are crashing, you are scared. When markets are booming, you think you have already missed it. There's always an excuse. Automation removes emotions completely and investing becomes just another monthly bill. Except this one pays you back. Years later, don't rely on discipline, build systems. But here's something I wish I understood even earlier. The amount you earn matters much less than the amount of the time you give your investment. Rule number 7. This is more valuable than returns. When beginners ask you investing, the first question is almost always what's the best ETF? What stock I buy? What return I can expect? Those aren't bad questions, but I think they are the wrong questions. The better questions is when should I start? Because time is something you can never buy back. Let's imagine two people. One started investing at 25, the other waits until 35. Even if they invest the exact same amount every month, the person who started early often ends up with significantly more money simply because they gave compounding more time to work. That's the magic most people underestimate. It's not just how much you invest, it's how long you stay invested. There were years where my portfolio didn't do anything exciting. Some years it even went backwards. But I keep investing because I wasn't investing for this year, I was investing for the next 20 or 30 years. That's a completely different mindset. Time is consistency. Consistency is compounding. Compounding is wealth, not luck, not perfect timing, not the next hot stocks, just time. At this point, I thought I had finally figured out investing, but there was still one constantly pulling me away from my plan. And honestly, it's something millions of people struggle every single day. We will talk about that the next. Rule number 8, learn to grow the noise. Have you ever noticed there's always something to worry about? One year it's inflation, the next year it's interest rate, then it's a recession, then it's a AI, then it's politics, then it's another market crash. Every single week, the news gives you a brand new reason not to invest. And I used to fall for it. I will read a scare headline, then convince myself maybe I should wait. A week later, the market would recover. Then I would wait again. Eventually, I realized something. The news isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to get your attention. Fear gets clicks. Excitement gets clicks. Everything is normal. Doesn't. The market has survived wars, financial crises, pandemics, inflation, political uncertainty, technological revolution, and somehow people still believe this time is different. Now I still pay attention to what's happening, but I don't let headlines decide whether what should I do now with my money, because my investing plan shouldn't change every time someone posts a scary thumbnail on YouTube. Don't let your emotions make financial decisions. Rule number 9, consistency beat motivation. This rule changed much more my finances. It changed my life. When I started investing, I was incredibly motivated. I would watch finance video every day, read investing books, track my portfolio, research companies. Then life happened. Work got busy. I would skip a month, then another. Sounds familiar, right? The same thing happened with fitness, content creation, learning new skills. Realize something. Motivation is temporary. Some days you wake up excited, other days you don't feel like doing nothing. If your success depends on motivation, eventually you will quit. That's why I stopped depending on motivation and started building habits. Instead of asking, do I feel like investing today? The answer became irrelevant. It already happened automatically. Instead of asking, do I feel going to the gym? I simply showed up. Instead of asking, do I feel like making another YouTube video? I remind myself why I started. Successful people aren't successful because they are motivated every day. They are successful because they keep showing up, even on the days they don't feel like it. That's something I am still working on. I am not perfect, but I am getting better one day at a time. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Now, everything we have talked about so far leads to this final rule. This is the one that completely changed how I think about money, and honestly, it's the one I hope you remember years from now. Rule number 10th, wealth is built quietly. When I was younger, I thought wealth looked exciting. Fancy cars, luxury watches, big house, huge stock gains. The truth is much less exciting. Real wealth is actually pretty boring. Nobody celebrates when you invest this month. Nobody congratulates for skipping unnecessary purchase. Nobody notices you when you choose to invest instead of spending. It's quiet, It's invisible. And that's exactly why so many people gave up. Because they expect instant results. They wanted to see their life change overnight. But that's not how wealth works. It built one paycheck at a time, one investment at a time, one good decision at a time. For years, it feels like nothing is happening. But that one day, you look back and you realize those tiny decisions completely changed your life. I used to think I needed one amazing investment, one lucky stock, one big opportunity. Now, I know something much more valuable. I don't need extraordinary decisions, I just need ordinary decisions, repeated for a very long time. And that's how wealth is built quietly, patiently, consistently. If I could go back and give me my younger self one piece of financial advice, it would simply be this: don't rush, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Keep learning, keep investing, keep improving yourself, and trust the process. Because the future version of you will thank you for every small decision you make today. If you have watched this far, first of all, thank you. I genuinely hope at least one of these rules help you to avoid the mistake that took me years to learn. My goal with this channel isn't to tell you which stocks to buy tomorrow. There are already thousands of channels doing that. My goal is much simpler. I want to document my journey, share the lessons I have learned, and hopefully help you build wealth a little faster than I did. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more people. And if you are interested in investing, personal finance, build wealth, and following my journey, consider subscribing because this is just the beginning. Over the next videos, I'll be sharing more about investing strategies, the mistakes I have made, my portfolio philosophy, and everything I'm continuing to learn along the way. And if you remember only one thing from this entire video, let it be this: you don't need to be the smartest investor, you just need to be the most consistent. I'll see you in the next one.